Well, hi everyone and welcome to the Shamrock Quilt Studio. Today I've got a video so that you can kind of see a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes here at the Shamrock Quilt Studio. Now, this is a Monday and I don't normally video on Monday, but I'm making a little bit of an exception today because we've got some beautiful weather and I've got good light in here to be able to do this, and I want to kind of get ahead of things just a little bit. So let me tell you where I am. Join me in just a second. We'll get started. Okay, we are just finishing up on our double wedding ring quilt. Now, I've already finished it, but I have some videos still to go out because the actual quilting on that project went much faster than I anticipated. So the timing is a little bit off, and I apologize for that, but I've tried to keep the timing of the videos consistent with the actual amount of time it took me, so you've got a realistic view of how things are going. So in that regard, I'm a little bit ahead of myself, and I have just started a second hand quilting project for the year, and I'm really tickled pink about that because one of my goals this year was to get some hand quilting done on things that were just hanging around for way too long. Now, I've got a bunch of projects that are either started and not finished, or they are in the planning stages, and some that are waiting on supplies and fabrics, and others that I don't know if we'll get to or not, but I wanted to kind of run through what I think I'm going to be doing and what you might be seeing. And we're going to start on this end of the table. This is the project I'm working on to create a Hunter Star quilt, and I love the way this looks. This is great. But I had a video, I think it was last year, trying to make this block, and this is made the old-fashioned way where you cut all of the pieces and you sew all the pieces back together. And I like the way this looks, but it is a bit of a challenge to get all those blocks together. So then I decided I was going to try other ways. So I tried a second way, and I just edited this video the other day, so it's going to be coming out soon. And I like the ease of making this block, and I didn't find it was particularly wasteful. It does waste some materials, but not a whole lot. But this block is going to be way too big compared. This is 1/4 of this whole block, so it's going to be huge. So I haven't made a final decision yet, but I think we either still need to look, or I just need to set my expectations to go back to that traditional way and just muddle through it. And I'm just trying to figure out whether I want to do that or not. And I'm going to skip one and I'm going to come to this. And the reason I don't know whether I'm going to move forward with this is because I am going to make a patriotic project this year. And I think it may be the next one that I get going on and actually finish, because in our videos, we're up to March, early April, and I need to get started on this if we're going to have something to hang before the 4th of July. And it is a special year for patriotic things, being that it's our 250th anniversary of our independence. So we need to get started on that. And I was shopping a while back and I ran across these two fabrics and I just love them. That stripe, whoops, and this beautiful blue color, and it doesn't have stars, but it does have little plus signs. And from a distance, that looks as close as I think we can get without trying to duplicate the flag. It looks really good. Now, I haven't decided completely on what block I'm going to use. I've got a couple that are contenders, And I am trying to use something in our little box of blocks. I'm trying to remember the name of this thing. It's the Quilt Builder card deck. So I'm trying to maybe use one of these if we can. So I'm working on that. I think I need maybe 2 more fabrics to go with this to be able to start, and I'm trying to finalize the block before I do that. So that's definitely in the cards. That's going to happen, and probably fairly soon. Now, I also have challenged myself to make something with this bundle of fat quarters. This came from Joann's, and it probably is 6 or 7 years old at least. And I think I picked it up on sale, and it's got 5 pieces of fabric in here. They're about fat quarter size. And I want to try to make something with that. So I think what I'm going to do next is, when I'm out in a fabric store, start looking for fabrics that will coordinate with this. Because all of these have patterns, and I love the patterns, but you've got to have some solids in there, or you've got to have some patterns that translate as solids, or I find that your pattern is just so busy that you really can't tell what the pattern is. So I'm going to be shopping for that, and I've got a tip for you on buying fabrics that might help you. I'm going to share in a minute. Then I'm working on the planning portion of a autumn color quilt, and I found this fabric. This is very similar pattern to what we used in So in Love. It's the same pattern as the background here, only it's a brown with kind of a little tan design on it, whereas this is like an ivory with a little mauve color on it. So it's kind of a brother-sister kind of thing going on there. Opposites attract, maybe. I don't know. But I've started collecting fabrics for that project as well. You can see where this is going, right? And then I have this project that has morphed a couple of times. And my challenge with this project is I can't find a background fabric. And I'm working on orange peels. Every time I find a blue fabric that I like, it's going to be all blue and white. Now, we did do an all blue and white quilt last year, and it's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be just a hodgepodge of blue and white fabrics. And the only thing that's going to tie them all together is that all the fabrics are the same size and shape piece that go on it. So I'm working on that. I don't really know whether we'll get it all done this year. I'm still on the lookout for that fabric, and I'm determined that I'm going to find what I want. If I don't find it by the end of the year, then I may have to compromise, but we're going to keep looking on that. There's a lot of things going on here, isn't there? And then I have a pattern that I'm trying to design for an applique project that will be an original pattern, so I'm working on that as well. And then on top of that, we've got Barn Star going. We just finished So in Love, and we've got the other hand quilting videos that come up, and then other things here in the studio. So it's really, really busy. Now, for my tip on how to go about shopping for fabrics, I think I'm going to show you on this one, because this is the one that I need the fabric the most on. So let's say you're in my situation. You want to make a quilt, and you've picked out a couple of fabrics, or you have a couple of fabrics in your stash that you want to use, and you need to find something that coordinates with it. What I do is I take a little swatch of the fabric. It doesn't need to be big. Here's one. And I did this a little bit bigger because it's got a stripe, and we're going to want to see the size and scale of that stripe to be able to decide what goes with it well. So we're going to take all of our fabrics that we think we're going to use for this project, and we're going to cut a little sample of the fabric. And we're going to tape it onto a card. Now this one I'm going to tape onto a business size card. I'll tape it just on one end, should work. Now we've got that little card to take with us to the store. You could write on here what your project is, maybe what the finished size of it is, how much you have of these fabrics, how much you would need of other fabrics, maybe ideas about what you preconceive would be the fabric that you would take. And then just slip this in your wallet, and when you go to the store and you start looking at things and you say, I think this one would be great, pull out your sample card and look at it and say, yes, that's going to work nicely. Wonder how much I need. Flip it over and see what you've written on there. If you're working on a larger project, let's say we're working on this one, because this has, what did I say, 5 different fabrics in it, you're going to need a little more room. And what I would suggest is something like an index card. You could even take an index card and fold it in half so it would fit in your wallet a little bit better. Or you could use both sides of your business card. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to cut some samples and we're going to tape them on here, write our comments down, and then go from there. Now, when I look at these, for example, a couple of things come to mind. I don't know what kind of pattern we're going to use, but we've got 3 grays, we've got 1 yellow, and we've got 1 white. So we certainly could put a white solid with this. We could put a yellow solid. This is a very bright yellow, so we may want to use a yellow that's a little bit paler so it doesn't take over, because we've got yellow in almost all of these fabrics. We also could use a subtle stripe in here. We've got a lot of shapes and sizes of designs going on, but a little stripe would be good. For example, let me show you this. If we're working with something like this, if this was like a gray and white stripe or a yellow and white stripe, that might be good with this. We could also use a solid gray, but I would recommend if we use a gray, we use it more in the pale shades. Or we could use a really dark gray in a shape that was skinny, so it would accent it. Maybe a small border, or maybe even the binding for that. But if we take all of these fabrics with us on a little card with our notes on it, we've got everything in one place, it'll be much easier to shop. I've done this several times. I know with the double wedding ring quilt, I had a card that went with me, and with this one I did it with a card that went with me because I needed to match specific colors, and I would go without it and look at what was in the store and say, that'd be great, and get home and it wasn't anywhere close, and I ended up buying fabrics that I didn't need. Now I can use them, something will come up and I'll be able to use them, but I didn't need to make that purchase at the time. I'd also encourage you to, if you're starting a project like this, check out your stash and see what's in your stash. I know right off the bat that I've got some grays and whites that would work with this. I don't know about the yellow. I might have some small pieces of yellow, or they may not be the right shade. We just have to see. But that would be the best suggestion that I have for you. Now, taking that and going to the store and finding it sounds great, and it may work out wonderful for you, or you may be in the situation that I'm in with this one, that you just can't find anything. And that is so frustrating, but it does happen. And I think that in a situation like that, if you do end up finding it after looking for quite a while, you'll be so excited when you do find it that it will bring a lot of joy. Sometimes the joy is in the searching and the collecting as much as the concept or the finished project. So keep that in mind if you would, please. I hope this showed you a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes in the studio. There's a lot of sewing, Sometimes it's start to finish and I get in there and I sew it and get it done and then edit the videos and they go out. And then sometimes it's some of these projects that I do something on the video like this one, and 6 months later I come back and do another one, and it might be another 6 months again before I do something again, because it's not pressing on my mind that it has to be done right now. It's just something that's out there like in a bucket list, so to speak, that needs to be done. So I kind of try to take it as casual as I can. Sometimes things are urgent and they need to be done, but I'm trying to enjoy this experience and just bring you along so you can see what's going on. If you have any suggestions about projects, or for example, if you have this one and you know how I can get this look with this ease, I would really like to hear that. Like I said, this video has been edited and it's been scheduled, so you'll see that soon. If just leave me a comment for the video of anything maybe you'd like to see here on the channel. I saw a short just today showing someone doing a needle turn applique, and I want to try that. It's a little different from the way that I've been doing it, and I'd like to maybe give it a shot and see what's going on. So there's a lot of opportunities for things, and we are going to try to revisit our Jack's chain project as well at some point this year, and see if we can't kind of get that into a shape where we can move forward with it. So there's a lot of things going on here. So if you're looking for some little entertainment every week, remember we have a video every Wednesday and every other Friday, and sometimes I sneak an extra one in there on you. So come and see us. That's all for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week here at the Shamrock Quilt Studio. Bye.